How to make a good impression on a first date, 7 tips to get your hands on that love. I'm going to give you 7 tips that will make it easier for you to find love. I'm going to break down some of the best ways for you to have a successful first date. These are tried and tested methods that work on both sexes. Turn up your charm and watch them fall for you. First love date? There is usually a lot of pressure to impress your date even if you have known each other for a while. Whether you have not been on the dating scene for a while and you are meeting your date for the first time, there is no need to be nervous. Listed below are a few simple ways to make a good impression on a first date. Tips to make a good first impression on a romantic date. 1. Be well dressed. This is one of the essential things for going on a date, especially a first love date. Your date will most likely judge you based on your appearance first. Therefore, it would be best to wear something that leaves a good impression. You do not have to go over the top either. Just dress appropriately based on the kind of date you are having. 2. Be on time. If you want to make a good impression on your first love date, make sure you get there on time or early. It is rude to show up late on a first date, or any date for that matter. It is also a turn-off and could make the other person leave, especially if they have to wait for a long period. It would be best if you freed up your schedule on the day of your date to get there on time. If you have a reservation for 8, show up at least 10 minutes earlier. 3. Be confident. There is no doubt that first love dates can be nerve-wracking, but be confident. Confidence leaves a good first impression. Exude it in the way you talk, the way you walk, and in your body language. Smile and be positive. However, note that confidence and cockiness are two different things. Therefore, do not try too hard to be confident. 4. Choose a nice restaurant. If you are making plans for the date, it will help if you chose a nice restaurant. You can find out what your date enjoys eating or pick a restaurant that offers various dishes that can cater to different palates. You do not have to choose an over-the-top restaurant. Pick a place that has a great ambience and allows you to have a conversation without straining. 5. Pick an interesting activity. Do not go for the conventional movie date. Try something different. There are so many activities you can pick from that will allow you and your date to spend quality time together and still hold relaxed conversations. For instance, consider going to the museum, go to an art gallery, take them to a cooking class or an art class. If you both love books, you could go to a bookshop, look around and have each one pick a book they would like the other to read and even read out to each other. There are multiple date activity ideas you can select from based on what your date likes. Ensure that the activity you pick can allow or encourage you to have a conversation. 6. Table manners. Table manners are essential in every situation. Therefore, if your table manners are not excellent, it would be best to practice before your date. Some of the key ones to note are not talking with food in your mouth, pass both the salt and pepper, avoid talking while holding utensils, keep your elbows off the table, and have a napkin on your lap. Table etiquette is essential and will leave an impression on your date. If you are not well versed with the appropriate table manners, you can easily be rude without intending to be. 7. Avoid small talk. Small talk is a sure way to bore your date and have them make a mental note of that being the first and last date the two of you will ever be on. For instance, avoid talking about TV shows, siblings, or the weather. Those are sure ways to run out of conversation and sit in awkward silence. If you would like to get a second date, be creative with the topics you choose. Pick a topic that is a conversation starter and one that can lead to more conversations. It is okay to ask questions to get to know your date better, but tell a couple of stories in between so they do not feel like they are being interviewed. 8. Eye contact. It is also essential to make eye contact when conversing with your date. Ask follow-up questions when they talk about something they are passionate about, as it shows you are interested in what they have to say. It would also help if you called them by their name. Remember that eye contact is also a great way to connect with your date and make them feel seen. It is also worth noting that there is a thin line between eye contact and staring. 9. Put your phone away. It isn't polite to use your phone during your date, especially if it is the first date. Therefore, make sure that you put your phone away throughout your date and pay attention to what your date has to say. Be present and engage in conversation. If you must pick your call because it is urgent, explain that to your date and make sure it does not happen again. If you are constantly picking calls and replying to messages, it can be a total turnoff for your date. 10. Be kind to the staff. It takes nothing to be kind to the staff, whether you are on a date for the first time or alone. How you treat the staff reflects your character, so if you are kind to the staff, your date will pick up on that. Being kind to everyone around you shows your date that generally you are a kind person. There are various arguments about who should pay on the first date. However, if you like to leave a great impression, pick the tab when it is brought to the table. These tips will go a long way in making a great first impression on a love date. Remember to be yourself and mindful.